UIL state soccer playoffs are underway. We'll highlight action from this week's by-district round. Also, the carousel of coaching changes keeps turning as spring football approaches. Eric Zarate of the Fort Worth Star-Telegram is here to talk about the latest news. And we'll check in with DeSoto's new main man, Mike Robinson, who joins the Eagles this offseason. Plus, living for Zach, how the former Plano East football player has left a legacy.
This is the Chevy High School Sports Special, sponsored by your North Texas Chevy dealers. Chevy drives Texas.
The route to Georgetown is set as soccer teams begin their trip towards state. Happy Easter, everyone. I'm Joe Trahan. Well, this is April, and the UIL State Soccer Tournament is right around the bend. The journey lasts 3 weeks for those who make it all the way through, and it all kicked off this week with first-round matchups. Moon shining bright at Hebron High School. Centennial in white, the Colony in black. Scoreless game through the first 63 minutes. Centennial misses a few opportunities early on, but the Titans capitalize in the second half. Senior Will Boney crosses the ball, and there's Nathan Hollian to bury the one-timer in the corner. The sophomore midfielder puts Centennial up 1-0. Under 2 minutes to go. Centennial looking to put the game away. Here comes Hollian again. Nice moves up the wing and scores on the deflection off the Colony defender. 2 goals for Hollian, and the Titans in firm control. Desperation time for the Colony. Emotions running high. And a 6'4" defenseman, Spencer Magahays, takes out Centennial's co-captain, Mitchell Schmick, that is. Watch again. Fortunately, Schmick is fine. Magahays stays in the game despite upset Centennial fans. But the Titans strike back moments later. Colony goalie comes out of the box, and Centennial's Jordan Chandler launches from near midfield, and that makes it 3-0 Centennial. What a goal, and that is your final score. Defending 6A state champion Dallas Jesuit finished 4th in district this year, so the Rangers face 10 6A champion SACHSE in the first round. No score in the second half. SACHSE's Miguel Otobo on the corner kick, but Jesuit goalkeeper Joseph Benul able to punch it away from the front of the goal. We're scoreless still. We go to overtime where SACHSE continues to put shots on goal. Fidel Gutierrez with a good look, but he can't get it past Benul. Another great save. After 100 minutes without a score, we go to penalty kicks to decide it. And Benul stops SACHSE's first shot right there. Nice stop. Jesuit built a 3-2 advantage in PKs before the Rangers missed the goal twice on consecutive kicks, and that gave SACHSE a chance to end it. For the win, SACHSE puts the ball in the net as the Mustangs outscored Jesuit 4-3 on penalty kicks, giving the Mustangs the 1-0 win over the Rangers. Fossil Ridge hosting Arlington Lamar Friday at noon in their by-district matchup. In the first half, Ridge gets a good shot on goal. Eduardo Mercado from 27 yards out hits the crossbar. Panthers get the rebound, but the follow-up sails too high. Well into the second half now, Lamar's Jason Flores takes the free kick, but the keeper for Fossil Ridge, Diego Berlingeri, keeps it scoreless. 67th minute now. Flores gets another shot for Lamar, but once again, Berlingeri there to make sure it doesn't go in. It started to look like it might go to overtime until Mason Wallach breaks away after the pass, and Wallach goes down. He's fouled in the box by Mason Norris, and Fossil Ridge is awarded a penalty kick. Lamar's keeper, Jalen Jones, makes a great stop on the PK, but Wallach gets another shot on the rebound, and this time he scores to give Fossil Ridge the lead in the 69th minute. Lamar looking for the equalizer in the last 10 minutes. Great kick by Osvaldo Gutierrez from 60 yards out, but Berlingeri turns it away. Lamar hits the post once, but in the end they can't get the ball past the Fossil Ridge keeper. Berlingeri making that 1-0 lead stick as the Panthers get the win over the Vikings. Dallas Samuel and Bryan Adams playing their by-district match Friday at Forrester Stadium. Bryan Adams looking to get on the scoreboard first. Cougars on the corner kick, but it's rejected by Samuel's keeper. Bryan Adams keeps it in play, though, reeling off a couple more shots on goal before the Spartans are finally able to clear it out. Still scoreless in the second half, but here's a chance for BA to score, and it's one-on-one with the keeper. but he's able to stop it. It's a kick save and a beaut. Bryan Adams taking most of the shots in this one, but it's Samuel making the most of their opportunity in the 72nd minute. Spartans with the cross, and Marco Rivera scores the goal to give Samuel a 1-0 lead. But in the 73rd minute, Bryan Adams has an answer. Cougars on the free kick, and they score on the header, and we're all tied at 1. Neither team scores again in regulation or overtime, so it goes to penalties, where Samuel outshoots Bryan Adams, and the Spartans get the win 2-1. Well, from the game that the world calls football to the one we call football here in Texas, in particular, high school football. There's a new head coach in DeSoto, new to the Eagles program, but a sideline veteran here in North Texas.
The DeSoto Eagles building a foundation for the fall. These off-season workouts often when football teams come together.
Well, my philosophy is to teach life through football.
For new Eagles coach Mike Robinson, uniting his team as well as DeSoto's football community at the top of the to-do list.
The seniors were probably wondering, why us, why now?
Those seniors dealing with a coaching change after Todd Peterman resigned in January. Last April, his job status was in question just months after the Eagles won the school's only football state championship. DeSoto's school board coming under fire for its handling of the situation.
There's been turmoil. What's your biggest message and your biggest philosophy in terms of trying to bring this community together?
There hasn't been any turmoil with the kids.
Time and time again during our visit, Robinson stressed to simply put the kids first.
When everyone's on the same page that we're working for the kids, then we'll all work hand in hand. The transition has been great.
He calls his new job a bucket list item, well aware of the off-the-chart expectations. In the last 6 years, the Eagles have averaged nearly 12 wins a season with 2 state semifinal appearances to go along with their title.
I believe it's a challenge to exceed those expectations.
Eagles seniors remember what that 2016 title run took when they were sophomores.
They know, and they don't mind working for what they know.
Be disciplined!
Perhaps that's the work needed for football to teach this town a life lesson.
Eagles on me, Eagles on 3, 1, 2, 3. Eagles!
The talent is still there, and so is the coaching, with Mike Robinson now in charge at DeSoto. Well, still to come on tonight's show, the legacy left by one former Plano East football player and the lives he's saved since losing his. That story is next on the Chevy High School Sports Special. Welcome back to the Chevy High School Sports Special, where we continue to highlight the bi-district soccer playoffs. Grapevine's girls looking to get back to the 5A state finals for the second time in 3 seasons, taking on Trimble Tech Friday. Early on, Ashton Wright taking this corner kick for Grapevine. A couple of players are there, but Selena Galvez gathers it for Trimble Tech. And no goal happening there. Later, it's Wright sending the long pass to Sophie Smith. And when Trimble Tech's goalkeeper comes out, Smith slips by her and into the goal for a 1-zip Lady Mustangs lead. Wright will assist the next goal too. Nicole Romero gathers the pass. She'll go top shelf for Grapevine's second goal. Just 19 minutes in, it's 2-0 Mustangs. Grapevine will add one more before the end of the half. Eliza Haley sending the cross, and Kylie Rhodes stays with it to get it into the goal. That makes it 3-0. Rhodes would end up scoring 3 times as Grapevine cruises to the win, 7-0 the final. In 6A, the Hebron Lady Hawks visiting Allen Thursday at Eagle Stadium. Allen trying to score first in the 12th minute, tossing a Leo with the cross between defenders, but Emily Russell can't quite deflect it towards the net, so no score. A battle of the ball in the 22nd minute. Aleo comes away with it for Allen. She dribbles past one defender but can't put it past Hebron's keeper. Then Allen's Allie Jackson will win the rebound, but her shot goes off the right post. Good scoring opportunity for Hebron. Meanwhile, before the half, Lady Hawks will attempt a shot from 15 yards out, but Allen's Madison Williams is there to help out defensively. Hebron would get the rebound, but sends that shot wide. Neither team would score in regulation. Each got a goal in overtime before Allen prevails on penalty kicks for a 2-1 final. Tomorrow will mark the 9th anniversary of the day that we lost Zach Schraw during a routine off-season football workout at Plano East. It goes without saying that Zach has been missed by those who knew him well, and he hasn't been forgotten. Here's Mike Leslie.
Zachary Schraw loved to fish.
This kid would bring me unbelievable amounts of fish because he knew I couldn't cook. He taught me how to cook it in middle school. We knew Zach Schraw was a different type of cat, and then getting to coach him, it was just fun.
At Plano High School, Zach was an offensive lineman, a talented sophomore. He was already working with the varsity in the spring of 2009 when he collapsed in the middle of practice.
There was definitely a phase of panic when we first saw him go down.
When his mother, Karen, arrived, they wouldn't let her into the facility.
I knew when I approached the field house that it had to be something pretty serious.
But she figured whatever it was a football injury.
You know, that he broke his arm, that he hit his head.
No, Zach had fallen into cardiac arrest.
And I was one of the first people to just sprint and try and find an AED.
For minutes, Zach's coaches and teammates tried to help him before paramedics arrived to rush him to the hospital.
One of the parents actually drove me and we followed the ambulance to the hospital. And, you know, at that time, I'm praying.
When I walked in, I could have sworn all of Clark High School was there supporting him.
We knew that something terrible was going on.
On April 2nd, 2009, with no warning and despite showing no prior signs, Zachary Schraw was dead.
I think the most difficult time for me is to wake up every day after that Zach wasn't asleep in his bed, that he was truly gone, that I wouldn't hear him up in the morning taking a shower for school, that I had to tell myself every day when I woke up that it wasn't a dream, that the tragedy wasn't a dream.
You know what a common question is?
What's that?
What does it feel like to get shocked?
Do you know?
No, you were dead.
After Zach's death, his mother organized Living for Zachary, an organization dedicated to preventing similar tragedies in the future. And they did.
It was just after Father Cliff started the homily, I leaned my head over towards my wife and says, I feel weak, and collapsed.
On December 7th, 2011, at St. Mark's Church in Plano, a defibrillator saved Michael Reisinger's life. It was the first AED Living for Zachary ever donated. Without the AED, are you sitting here today?
Probably not.
By law, schools and many other public places are required to have at least one AED. But one may not be enough on a large campus. Karen Schraw has made it her mission to provide AEDs and to encourage youth to get the necessary screening, all to help prevent others from enduring the same heartache she has. Do you ever feel cheated?
Whoa. I don't ever feel cheated. I feel very grateful for the time that I had with Zachary. The more we talk about our children that are gone, the more their spirit is alive. Life is so valuable, and we should treasure every day that we have with our loved ones and our friends, and just make the best of it.
Focus in!
Zachary's spirit lives on at Plano, where the number 64 is retired, and on the back of his former teammate, now wearing number 64 in the pros.
But you can't just forget it. You can't just move on. Yes, he's gone, but at the same time, if you talk to him and you try to talk to him and you try to talk to his spirit, it's just going to get stronger. It's not going to fade away.
Mike Leslie, Channel 8 Sports, Plano.
Wednesday, it was East against West in the McDonald's All-American girls basketball game in Atlanta. 2 players from North Texas, one on each side. Duncanville's Zay Green for the West scores 6 points to go with 3 assists and 4 steals. Green headed to the University of Tennessee. The East had Madison Williams from Fort Worth Trinity Valley School, and she was the leading scorer for her team with 13 points, 9 in the first half alone. Williams, an Oklahoma signee. The East team lost to the West 82-79. So a big night for a couple of local All-Americans and a big week for high school soccer playoffs and coaching news. Let's talk about it now with Eric Zarate from the Fort Worth Star-Telegram. He's here with us now. Eric, thanks so much for being here.
Glad to be here.
Boy, that coaching carousel in the high school ranks spinning at a high rate this offseason.
A lot of school board meetings having to be covered this offseason.
Yeah, too many, right? Let's start with South Lake Carroll, though. Right. I mean, they get a familiar name in Riley Dodge. He takes over where his father was so successful, winning those 4 state championships in 5 years. Let's talk about the fallout, though, from the way that went about.
Yeah, it started back in January when first Hal Wasson, the head coach at South Lake Carroll, he was placed on administrative leave. Findings in the athletic department program involving mostly administrative, some not reporting camps that were held and things of this sort. It's been reported to the UIL, but nothing's been done there so far. But Wasson took a buyout. He's now at athletic director at Irving School District, and Riley Dodge comes in, the quarterback from the 2006 team and new head coach at South Lake Carroll.
Yeah, it's interesting the way that's all going to work out and all the different changes in that athletic department. Of course, we'll keep an eye on that. So let's talk about Trinity Christian Addison. I mean, they had Hall of Famer Mike Singletary, and as I tweeted when I found out about it, those linebackers at TCA had better be ready for an absolute education from Mike.
Absolutely. He knows how to play defense. He was a 10-time Pro Bowler. He's going to make that program a lot stronger, and definitely defense is probably one of the first things that they're going to make really solid for that team.
Yeah, it should be good stuff. I can't wait to do that story, right? That's high on my list to get over and talk to Mike and see how he's going to handle those high school kids over there. Let's talk about DeSoto. Of course, more contentious school board meetings there with Todd Peterman leaving, going to White Settlement Brewer, and now Mike Robinson is in with the Eagles.
Yes, he came from North Mesquite, and he's certainly ready to take that program to continue. They won a state title in 2016. I'm sure they expect more success with the change in the staff, but still the same players are there, very solid, always a deep, lots of talent at DeSoto, and a new coach expected to continue to have winning ways there. And
you know, Brewer's got some really good, they got good architecture there, good bones, good structure to have a good program. It'll be interesting to see what Peterman can do there.
Yes, they're Peterman, he knows how to build programs, obviously, and at Brewer, they don't have Alito in their district, which for 2 years that was that way. That helps a little, and to build a successful football program, he knows how to do that, and definitely we kind of surprised. I think a lot of folks going to Brewer instead of some other big program like maybe a South Lake Carroll or something like that, but I'm sure he's happy with the decision he's made, and the folks out in White Settlement are happy to have him.
Yeah, look out. The Brewer's going to be good, and I don't think it's going to take long. One other coach we want to hit, Fort Worth Pascal, a team that I know the Star-Telegram will be watching closely.
Right. Pascal High School, the oldest high school in Fort Worth. Chris James comes from Crowley High School. He was 50-37 there in 8 years, won 3 district titles. Pascal hadn't made the playoffs since 1995. They would love to get a coach who could establish something and really compete at the 6A level, and Chris James is certainly the person who can make that happen.
Yeah, the expectations are high. It'll be interesting to see how long it takes Coach to get that program up and running. Before we let you go, we want to talk a little soccer. By district, done. Tell me about some of those teams that aren't necessarily soccer powers able to move on, survive and advance, so to speak.
Yeah, a few teams that hadn't won a soccer playoff game in a number of years all got into the second round. Euless Trinity boys, they knock off Allen. Allen,
interesting.
Always seems to have Trinity's number in other sports, but this time the Trinity boys, they beat them, and Trinity hadn't had a second-round playoff team in about 15 years. Fossil Ridge boys also advanced to the second round. Crowley girls and Keller Central girls all had not had area round playoff teams in 5, 6, 7 years. So.
Yeah, that's great stuff. And before we go, we got to give one attaboy, right? Castleberry deserves an attaboy. This is for you guys. Great job.
Yes, in Class 4A, the Lions, second-year varsity program. Both boys and girls teams got impressive first-round wins onto the second round for the Castleberry Lions.
Yeah, hey, keep going, guys. We'll keep watching, and we'll certainly have it all for you here. Eric Zarate from the Fort Worth Star-Telegram. Thanks for the insight.
glad to be here.
All right, great. Keep it here, folks. The Team of the Week is coming your way next, so stay with us.
Now, here's your Chevy Team of the Week, sponsored by your North Texas Chevy dealers.
As the champs of District 10 6A, the SACSE Mustangs were awarded with a by-district draw against defending state champ Dallas Jesuit. SACSE taking most of the shots on goal, but Jesuit's goalkeeper Joseph Benul wouldn't give. SACSE kept the Rangers scoreless too, and after 100 minutes of play, still no score. So they went to penalty kicks, and SACSE outshoots Jesuit 4-3 to decide the match. The SACSE Mustangs are now by-district champs, and they're our Chevy Team of the Week. The UIL soccer playoffs continue this week with second-round games. 3 weeks to go until all the champions are crowned in Georgetown. And we'll be highlighting the action all the way down to the championship matches at Birkelbach Field. 2 more rounds coming up this week, and we'll be back again next Sunday night with another recap. So until then, thanks so much for spending some time, folks. I'm Joe Trahan. Happy Easter and good night.
This has been the Chevy High School Sports Special, sponsored by your North Texas Chevy dealers. Chevy drives Texas.